Where's that? All right, here we go. It starts in 3, 2. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. 3, 2, 1. Coming up on TMS, I think you're eating my chips.
Where do you keep your meat?
Eagles do not like trash.
Hallmark wants to make our lives hell.
Why are you shooting each other?
Major spoilers.
Trick nerd and more.
Okay.
It's totally fine. Normally we separate them. I confuse Brian. On this episode of The Morning Stream.
Taking on the case of murder and the killer with purple hands.
Oh.
The Morning Stream. Death reigns from above.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to The Morning Stream. It is TMS for April 8th, 2019. Yeah, that's the right year. I'm Scott Johns with Brian Ibbett. Hello, Brian Ibbett.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm much better. I was super sick last week, and I'm still sort of in slight recovery mode, but way better. Oh my gosh. It peaked on Saturday. It was the worst. And I just rested a lot, like straight up just like laid down and slept a lot.
Because that's what you're supposed to do. Why did it take you until Saturday to realize you need to just stop doing stuff and just rest?
I don't know. I don't like being slowed down by natural causes. It bugs me.
I know. Well, you gotta do it.
Yeah, so I did. And outside of I did Skim on Sunday and big Chris Metzen thing last night. Other than that, I kind of took the weekend off, and it was great.
And dungeons.
Oh, and I forgot there will be dungeons on Saturday. That just about killed me. I was so out of it that day. But we had no other way to make it up, and we're launching a whole new campaign on Monday, or not Monday, next week. So I couldn't just not do it. There was no way. And because I had other stuff on Sunday, I couldn't do that then. So anyway, it was just It was just the way it was, and I had to do what I had to do, and I did what I had to do, and everything's fine now, and I feel so much better that it's ridiculous how much better I feel.
Good. Well, you sound... I mean, I never talked to you... The last I talked to you was Thursday, and you sounded rough. I never talked to you on Friday or Saturday or Sunday, so I didn't hear the worst of it, but you were starting to sound pretty rough on Thursday, so I'm glad... Glad you're better on the mend.
Yeah, it's weird how
we'll
it
start
went.
Talking percentages at some point here.
Yeah, and it was weird how it went. It was like a ramp on last Monday. No big deal. It's a little cough. Didn't feel much else. In fact, I think I even said on the show, it's some minor thing. Who knows? Probably nothing. And then next day a little worse. Next day a little worse. So it's like this little ramp, and then it gets to Saturday, and it still hasn't dipped. It's still just going worse and worse and worse and worse. And then suddenly, after Saturday, just better.
Like a peak down the, like you went, like there was no, it was just your basic isosceles triangle.
Yeah.
Up one side, no variation down the other side.
Yeah, which is great.
Angle.
I mean, I don't know what I expected or why that's weird to me, but it just, I felt so much better yesterday. It was really fantastic. So
Good.
So I'm in for the long haul this week. Very excited about that. That'll be great. Sorry about the missing of PM. It just was not in me. There was no way it was going to happen.
No, that's all right. That's all right. We'll save it all. We'll dispense our PMs.
Yeah,
this Friday.
That's right. Everyone likes to take a good.
Don't even
PM.
know what the heck I'm saying there.
Well, everyone needs a good PM once in a while.
That's right.
All right. I got a funny story to tell. Whilst in my misery.
Yeah.
This was Friday night. Here's one of the weird things about this particular, whatever this is, this GDC mutated shared con crud Carter gave me. It has this one unique marker about it, which is I'm starving all the time during it. I was so hungry all the time, and sometimes to my detriment, I end up with like a horrible stomach ache while I'm sick, while I have like all the other symptoms. So it was just sucked, but I was always hungry. Well, Friday night, Carter has two of her friends over, and they're these friends she had in high school. They're just like her, total nerds. In fact, the entire night they had a plan. It was to get some food, order pizza, go downstairs, turn on the TV, and watch all 3 seasons, binge all 3 seasons of Troll Hunters on Netflix because they're nerds.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, they're just nerds.
Yeah, but 3 seasons.
Well, they're
in one
short.
night.
They're like 20 minutes a piece or something. They're not that long.
Okay.
So I don't think they got through all 3 seasons, but they got through a bunch of it.
Wow.
So they're down there doing that, and that's great. And I see them. Oh, hey, girls, how's it going? Oh, good. Sorry you're sick, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, whatever. And so they're all having their fun, and I'm upstairs, and I'm like, I got to find something to eat. And I notice on the counter, Kim has bought there's a grocery bag there with 2 bags of chips in it. One ranch Doritos, my favorite, and some other ruffly thing I don't care about. Right, but
maybe
they're
Ruffles. Sure. Wasn't there a roughly kind of chip called
Ruffles something? Yeah. Anyway, so they're there, and I'm like, that sounds good. And I whip out a thing I like salsa on my ranch Doritos. That may sound weird to some, but it's really good.
No, that sounds amazing. Yeah, what a great combo.
Yeah, and it's just good like roasted tomato stuff Kim gets, and so I pour that into a thing, and I just go to town on these Doritos. I'm just going to town. And about, I don't know, 5 minutes, 6 minutes into me doing that, not Carter, she's still downstairs, but the 2 girls that are over visiting, hanging out, they come up and are kind of slowly, almost sheepishly walking into the kitchen. And I'm standing there like just an oaf eating food at the counter. And they walk in and I go, hey, what's up? And they're like, oh, nothing. And I go, cool. And I'm just going to town on this bag. And I say, so what are you guys up to? And they're like, oh, school and work and this and that. And I said, oh, where do you work? She goes, well, I work nights at Smith's, so I can go to school during the day. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I know Smith's is a grocery store. And I even say, oh, funny that this bag here says Smith's on it. That's great. We go there all the time. And she goes, yeah. And they're just kind of standing there smiling at me. And I say, yeah, it's not clicking at all. It's not clicking. I'm just still eating. And they go, okay, well, and then they turn around and I go back downstairs to watch the show while I'm going to town on these bags. And I realized only after all of this, oh my gosh, this is they brought this food and they meant it for, snacking on while they watch their show.
Yeah.
And they both came upstairs and stood there awkwardly for no reason and went away with nothing because they didn't know what to say to me while I'm eating the food they brought.
It's funny that they were even too taken aback by that to grab the rest of the bags and because they know that would have been it. You would have figured it out the second they picked up the 2 bags with the remaining food in them.
Yeah.
And started walking away, you would have been like, oh, these were your Doritos.
And I'm hovering over them. That's part of the problem, is I'm kind of just hovered over both bags. So I totally feel them. It's like a Seinfeld episode is what it felt like to me.
Yeah.
And I was just completely oblivious to the fact of whose food I was eating. And I was so embarrassed after when I figured it out. I was like, oh my gosh, I feel so stupid. And by then they had left. They were gone.
Oh, no. So it wasn't even, you couldn't even go and apologize and say, hey,
no.
Sorry about that. Didn't realize it. Let me pitch in for your pizza or something like that.
Yeah, I wish I would have said something and now I had Carter text him and tell him how dumb I felt and all that. But here's the funny bit. This should have been the other hint, but I still didn't get it. I was eating all those chips. They had walked away. I went in the other room for a minute. I came back out into the kitchen and the empty grocery bag's there, but both bags of chips are gone. They've disappeared. They've somehow been just gone.
The half-eaten one and then the full one.
Yeah, and I went, what? Where have these gone? And then it hit me. I went, oh, it's probably, the girls are probably, Carter came up here and thought, hey, I'll grab these chips that's fine. Let them have those. They were theirs the whole time. It was never mine.
Oh, Scott.
I felt really stupid, dude. I felt really dumb. But, I was in a desperate need and
you had fever brain is the problem. You had you were not in your right state of mind.
That's my excuse. That's what I'm going to my grave with. But they had a good time and everything was fine. It turned out okay, but it's just funny because what would they say? I kind of part of me was like, well, just say something. But if I was them, I probably wouldn't either. I don't know what I'd say. I'd see this guy in his freaking sloppy, crappy clothes all day, and he's wearing a hat backwards. He's in, he's pushing 50. He looks like some kind of schlub in the kitchen, hanging over your chips. Why would they say anything? Like, what would you do? Excuse me, sir, or excuse me, Mr. Johnson, or whatever none of it works. What they did is what I would have done. Turn around, gone the other way. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, I mean, you could do the hinty kind of thing. So, enjoying those chips? just like a little bit of little nudge. Those chips, you liking them?
I don't know if I could do it.
Like Stewie. So, Brian, those chips, you enjoying those chips, Brian? Are those very good? Slowly, voice getting higher. Are they good? You enjoying this with some salsa? Are you enjoying a little salsa on those Cool Ranch Doritos?
Yeah.
They're good? Yeah.
It's
Brand new bag? You enjoying that brand new bag of chips?
It's basically that sequence, except that they didn't do it. But it's exactly the scenario, and I don't, whatever. I just felt dumb. Felt dumb all night, but I woke up feeling so much better. I didn't care. It is weird though.
The healing properties of Cool Ranch, I guess.
I guess so. What's weird though is I thought because I was feeling better yesterday, I was gonna sleep like a baby last night. No. So here's the problem. I ate kind of late. Long story why, but I was on that Metzen interview for almost like 4 hours. It was a long time, and so I ate really late, and I think that messed me up. And I had dreams. So last night I had these crazy dreams, and in the dream I was at some training seminar for some terrible sales position. It was the worst dream.
Oh, that'd be such a nightmare. Yeah, yeah. It's funny how you get out of the working world, you get out of that business, that lifestyle, and man, you just thinking about going back to it is such a nightmare.
It sounds awful, and in the dream it felt so real. And at this dream, everyone brings their phones and their computers to take notes from the seminar. If you pulled out a tablet or a phone, they'd take it. They'd say, "No, you can't have those in here. Those are distracting. You have to listen to the thing." And they would take those away. So then I opened up a notebook thinking, well, that's where I'll take my notes. And he walked up and he goes, "I said you can't have that in here." And he took my notebook away. And it was like this oppressive, awful, gray building with no decorative anything, and everyone's there in their little short sleeve white shirts and ties.
Janice from accounting. So, how's your Monday going?
It was so bad, and it felt so real that it didn't feel like a dream. So in my mind, I was truly frustrated, and I woke up like frustrated at 3 o'clock in the morning, like, oh man, what the hell was that? And then I couldn't go back to sleep. So it's good stuff.
I'm surprised I didn't have crap nightmare dreams. I made dinner last night, and I made green chili. So when Tina and I went to Santa Fe, when I went with her on one of her trips to Santa Fe last year, we came back with a massive bag of roasted hatch green chilies, and basically got them back home. We divvied them up, or actually we you get the burnt husks off. You package them up into several different freezer bags. You freeze a bunch of them, and then we have one bag that we ate from, and then we grabbed another bag a couple days ago for me to make green chili. So I had that. I had some jalapenos, onions, tomatoes, tomatillos.
This all sounds
garlic.
great. It sounds amazing. Everything you're saying.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Did it all in the Instapot. Grilled up the pork. Took the pork out. Oh man, it came out great. But spicy as hell. Like basically Tina and Tristan were both like, all three of us sitting at the table, scarfing it down, sniffling and wiping sweat off our brows. And Tristan has to go, hold on, I don't need another Kleenex. Goes in the bathroom, comes back, scarf. I'm gonna have some more. Squeezing sour cream into it and stuff. But it was so good. But when I have really spicy food like that, it screws up my dreams. It's like tequila, or really any kind of drinking to excess, but tequila I could drink just a little bit and still have nightmare dreams. And spicy foods, and boy, you even add the combo of those.
Yeah.
It's even worse. But slept really well until about 4:30, then watched the end of season 1 of The Deuce and the beginning of season 2 of The Deuce.
4:30 in the morning Deuce watching. Wow.
4:30 in the morning Deuce watching.
Wow.
Well, it's what I'm currently binging.
That is a cold. That's a ice cold glass of water right in your face. That show.
Yeah, it totally is. Oh man, yeah. You know, we talk about how there's good nudity and bad nudity. That show does have the bad nudity.
Oh yeah, no, it's not. None of it is meant. I don't think anyway. I don't think any of it is meant to be titillating or attractive. In fact, I think they're trying to literally say, yeah, this is underbelly, man. This is like
right, exactly. If you've had any plastic surgery to make your body look good, we don't want you on the deuce.
Yeah,
we want real looking 70s bodies and
yeah, it's bad. And it's
but it's such a good show. And you know what? It's I mean Maggie Gyllenhaal and James Franco doing great on there. There's that dude who's the director for the porn company that Maggie Gyllenhaal works for.
Oh, he lost all that weight. Well, you haven't got
lost all that weight.
Yeah.
So he's like at the end of season 1, he's like,
isn't that weird?
Rotund, and then the beginning of season 2, he's like, it looks like who does he look like? He looks like that the psychiatrist from MASH.
Is it? Oh yeah, he does look a little like him. Is he the? Oh geez, honey, thank you. Avocado toast. I live in a hipster joint. Thank you.
Oh, look at you.
And some berries of some sort. But what was I gonna say? Isn't he the kid from not the kid, but in Serenity, he's the one that says you can't stop the signal and he killed me with a sword, Mal. That guy, isn't that same guy?
Oh, it might be.
I think it's that same dude.
I think it is.
And then he was in that Addams Family Values movie. Was a camp kid.
Yes, right. I think you're right.
And then that show where he was all smart about numbers. I think it was called Numbers. I think that's the one.
Wasn't there a show about?
Isn't that guy? I think it's that guy.
David Krumholtz. Yes, that's exactly who it is. I'm looking at him right now. Thank you, Jester Woot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny how, like, he's born in 1978.
Yeah.
Yet on the Deuce, he looks like he's 55.
Oh, easily.
Till he loses weight, and then he's like maybe 50.
Yeah,
but he's really only 40. He's
it's that mustache and tinge of gray he's got in the curly hair or something going on there. But I assume that in the first season that was like that was weight that he just had and then lost it, and then they had to write it in and make it part of the story. And he's trying to cheat on his diet all the time and whatever. And that thing did jump ahead. How many years? It jumped ahead like.
Yeah, the second season, they said at the beginning, 1977, I think, is when the second season starts.
Yeah. So you're pushing into the 80s by third season or something.
Early 70s. I'm looking to see when the, let's see. Yeah, 71, 72, second season jumps 5 years ahead to 1977. And it looks like James Franco his character had not visited a barber in that entire time.
But it's a lot like Simon. Who's the showrunner?
David Simon.
David Simon. It's a lot like the work he did with the other one.
The Wire.
The dialogue is very much like it's all just kind of happening, and it's almost like you're not. It's hard to explain. The style of it is very weird, but. If you're put off by just the nasty 70s, this is it, man.
It really is.
This is the nasty 70s.
Seedy underbelly. This is not that 70s show. There is no Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis looking people. It is like
nobody looks good. I mean, I guess you can say James Franco looks okay, but he still looks skeevy. Everyone looks skeevy.
I mean, they're like there's several attractive people on the show, but even the attractive people are made to look unattractive in the way that they're shot and filmed. I mean, it's a very real filming technique to make it.
I don't think Maggie Gyllenhaal's looked this good since that Nightcrawler movie where she ran around town with a camera and filmed people as they were getting in wrecks and stuff.
Did you ever see Secretary with James Spader?
No. Is that a movie?
I think that was the first thing. Yeah, it was the first thing I ever remember seeing Maggie Gyllenhaal in, and she plays this very subservient secretary to James Spader, who's kind of this misogynistic jerk.
Sounds right.
But you kind of feel, and this is pre-Boston Public, so this is a different James Spader too. But it's something to see. I think
I liked her in what's that? She was in that movie with. No, I'm not making one up.
Brokeback Mountain.
No. That's a good one though. No, with she was in a thing with Will Ferrell where he was hearing voices or whatever.
Fiction.
Yeah, I loved her in that.
Jeannie's brought that up. That was a really good movie, but Jeannie nailed it on the head. It's the worst title. It should never be called Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah.
Like it should be called My Life is Being Narrated. This sucks. Is what it should have been called.
That should have been what it was. Yeah.
Yes.
Because it wasn't Stranger Than Fiction. It was just the man's hearing a voice probably ought to commit him to some sort of
right. Exactly. Yes.
Medical help.
Maggie. Man has not Maggie has Emma Thompson's voice in his head.
And she was in Donnie Darko with her brother. That's where I get them mixed up. They just swap around for me now.
Yeah. Right. That's what it is.
Yeah. She was great, and they tried to make that Prince of Persia movie, and she was pretty good in that. I thought. Just kidding. That's her brother again. Anyway,
I remember thinking that. I was like, is she in that too? I couldn't tell if that's where we were going again.
They appear to be buddies, though. Pals, get along. Yeah. Siblings that get along in Hollywood.
You think there's a good Thanksgiving tradition in the Gyllenhaal house?
Yeah. They all get together.
Maggie and
Jake and Grandma Gyllenhaal and Grandpa Gyllenhaal.
With bringing their lutefisk, probably.
Right.
Hey, eat your lutefisk. I don't know about this tofurkey stuff that you guys are eating.
Lutefisk.
Yeah. Highfalutin actors with your Hollywood parties.
Oh, hey, that reminds me of people of a foreign nature eating lutefisk.
Yes. Okay. I love it when there's a good lutefisk story on the table.
Well, it's a good transition anyway to talking about our pal Will Harris, who many of you may know from his podcasty exploits in the UK. He's a fan of the show. We're a fan of his. He's an awesome dude. Came to Nerdtacular last time. It was great to see him. Boy, that dude can put some beer away, I noticed. This is the thing I noticed. But anyway, Will Harris, awesome dude. They're up for a Webby. And he asked me to throw him a little shout out, which I'm happy to do. He says, "Can I get some Frog Pants love for our Webby Award nomination for Intel HQ? Would really love it if the Tadpole could get behind this and help us win." So what you do there is you go to vote.webbyawards.com, and you're looking for Intel, ENTALE HQ. That's probably just Intel. You don't have to worry about the HQ. I think the HQ is like
it's implied.
It's just the Twitter account.
Yeah, there's the annex, the Intel annex, but then you've got the Intel HQ, which is really where everybody goes.
Exactly. And it's a podcast app that I've talked about before on the show that lets you see additional content as you listen. It's pretty neat. You can get pictures, explore maps, shop links. It's a pretty rad app. Anyway, it's up for a Webby Award, and y'all should check it out and vote for it. So that's vote.webbyawards.
So it's like the Webbies have apps and stuff in there too. I didn't think they had that before, right? Like it was websites for.
That's a good question. I don't know when they added all that stuff. That's a good point. I guess at some point they had
apps,
to.
Mobile and voice category. Best practices, best streaming service, augmented reality. What's best use of augmented reality?
I don't know.
There's notable women, night sky. David Bowie is okay. All right, some good.
That's cool. Yeah, that's all right. I'm really glad you didn't say bunny ears and stupid whiskers or all that shit. I hate those things. Or maybe Pokemon Go.
Experience. So I know that's what I was looking for, honestly. Or and then pretty soon we got that Harry Potter game. Which category are they in? Are they in best user experience?
I don't know. Actually, that's a good question. Let's see. Do they have an exact link?
I'm looking. Yeah.
They probably do. Well, that'd be good. That'd be a good thing to say what category people should be looking for.
Yeah, if we can.
Apps, mobile, and voice. Apps, mobile features. Best visual design and functionality.
Best visual design. Okay, good.
That's a cool one to be nominated for.
Totally, yeah.
I like that. Oh, yeah, there they are. I see it.
Yeah. Entail. Okay, there it is right there. Entail.
So it's in the apps, mobile, and voice, apps, mobile features, and then you'll just look around for best visual design and function. You'll find it.
Okay, cool.
Anyway,
good for them.
Yes, well done, Will, and all those who work with Will. He's a cool dude. And
well done.
Yes, well done. Will do, well done. All right. Hey, what's the time? The time is now. We're gonna play a game. Yeah, let's get him in here. I feel like I haven't talked to that dude in a while, but I guess it's just been on this show. Guess we talked to him last Wednesday, right?
talked to him Wednesday and you talked to him Monday, but we didn't talk to him for Film Sec. We're used to one more day of Dunaway in our lives.
Yeah, that bummed me out. That's the one thing I hate missing the most, but I missed it. But
you know what?
Yeah.
I was about to watch The Mummy on Friday morning, and then I get them like, all right, good. I guess I'm saving The Mummy for one more week.
Oh, good. Well, I guess I don't know if that's good or bad, but
yeah, no,
congratulations.
It's good I would have felt compelled to watch it a second time, and I don't think anybody wants that.
Nobody ever wants that. All right, let's play this. Hey, look, everybody, it's Brian Dunaway sitting right there. What's up, buddy?
Oh, hi.
Hi, welcome
Brian.
to Babel
How are you
Royale.
guys?
It's nice to have you here. Good, how are you?
Hey, Brian Dunaway.
Good.
Oh, that's
nice
fantastic.
and rested after watching The Mummy and then not talking about it.
Yeah.
Are you going to watch it a second time before next weekend?
I'm going to watch it a third time. No,
What?
What? I
No.
watch The Mummy every week.
He'll
No,
remember
I
it.
don't know.
He'll remember it just fine.
I'll remember it.
Yeah, take good notes
It's
and it'll
not
all be
that
good.
complicated.
It's all easy. I think we already have a caller. Let me see if this worked. Hi, can you hear us?
Hi, I can. It's Alex Albisu. How are you?
Ah, it's Alex, everybody.
Oh,
Sweet.
hey.
A recent contestant
Hi.
on the fantabulous, popular, and awesome I Want to Be the Next World's Top Podcast Idol.com.
More or less, yes.
That is
America's
the
Next
name of the
Top
show.
Podcast.
That
Yeah.
is the name of the show.
Yeah, I'm a judge on that show, and Alex is a cool dude. Hey, Alex.
The final episodes go up this week, so now's a great time. If you have not binged the series, go binge the series and listen to the finals this week.
Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Binge it.
Yep. And
Binge and
by the
verge.
way, a shout out to who did the art? Now I forgot. Crap. Somebody did some really sweet community art.
Oh, yeah. Let me pull that up because that is absolutely amazing.
Not Alfie.
Oh, so cool. I'm pulling it up.
I can't think of his name. He does There Will Be Dungeon stuff for us all the time, and he's awesome. He's so
Audie,
good.
Audie Norman.
Audie Norman.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, he's good. You guys can track him down. What's his Twitter account so people can find it? It's really good.
Oddly normal one.
Oddly Normal One. Follow
Yes.
that dude on Twitter. He makes really great stuff.
Spell one O-N-E. Spell it out. Yeah. He not only did an America's Next Top Podcaster judges and hosts and the crew, but then he went back and also did a 12 contestant piece of artwork showing all 12 of the ANTP contestants, which is really well done.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Anyway.
Yeah.
And Amy's putting together like a little Brady Bunch sort of video around that too, which is going to be fun.
Oh, that's awesome. He's great. And it's just nice of him because if he's a fan, if he has fandom for something, he draws for it and then shares it. And I just think that's a great thing. So keep it up, Audie. All right.
For sure.
Brian, you want to explain how this works to Alex and all of us?
I will totally do that. Alex, I'm going to be giving Scott and Brian Dunaway a topic, and they're going to go back and forth with answers for that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer or a repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, well, the win is going to go to the other player, naturally. Your job is to rub that crystal ball and predict who is going to come out on top based on the topic. Today, you are playing for a 2-pack of DVDs courtesy of Terry Z. Big fan of the show. I'm a fan of Terry Z's as well on Twitter and email and stuff. One of these movies is based on a video game. The other one is based on a book. It's Warcraft and Snowpiercer. And one of these is really good.
Hey, both of them. Well, I seen Snowpiercer. Which one are you referring to?
He's referring to Snowpiercer.
Snowpiercer is really good.
I
No,
mean,
you know what?
we're all Warcraft fans, but it's okay to admit that the movie's not that great. It's
Fine.
It's fine.
Fine.
It's serviceable.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Like it was an adequate movie.
Yeah, it was. We could say it was a film. It had credits, a beginning, a middle. Yeah, had all that
I
stuff.
had the best time watching it though because it was with a bunch of tadpoolers in Salt Lake City.
Yeah, we had a really good time. Like the stuff we did around it was what made it better for us. But
For sure.
yeah,
For sure.
if we're being honest, it's not that great. I thought Snowpiercer is based on a comic. Is it or no?
Graphic novel, actually.
Oh, rad! I need to someday. I need to read that.
A French graphic novel. Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was Korean, but I guess it's a Korean director of the movie, right?
Yes.
I think I got that all confused about where the origin of that book is from. I don't know why.
Yeah, I might be too. I'm wondering if it's Scandinavian or something.
it's
I can't
such a
remember. I
cool-
thought French. I thought it was based on
It's
French.
a really cool movie, and it's got Captain America in it. So
It does.
yeah,
With his pre Captain America beard, like when he like we saw him with this beard before we saw him with his Captain America beard.
that's right. And this movie, by the way, it has two MCU connections and multiple comic book connections. So here they are. Chris Evans, obviously. You got your where is she? Tilda Swinton. She's in your Doctor Strange business. She's the old one or wise one or whatever it is.
The ancient one.
Ancient one. John Hurt was in rest his soul, was in the Hellboy movies. Ed Harris was in that Once Upon a Time in America, or whatever the hell it was called, that was based on a graphic novel.
Well, I mean, we could also say like The Abyss.
Oh yeah, The Abyss isn't a comic, is it? I didn't know that. Is that a comic?
Oh! I'm sorry, we were saying comic. You're still going on the
Still
comic
comparing
page.
comics, yeah.
Sorry, okay.
And then that's it. That's all I know. But all I'm saying is that movie's great and you should watch it.
Is that the only Ed Harris comic connection? I mean, I know he hasn't been in any Marvel stuff, but
He should,
It's not.
but he hasn't,
yeah.
right?
I mean, Westworld, obviously, but that's not that's sci-fi connection, but not.
Yeah,
Wow,
I
that's
don't-
crazy.
I don't think he's been in any other comic adaptations that I can think of. I can't think of any. But John Hurt, and maybe John Hurt's been in more than I'm thinking, but I know Hellboy for sure. Man, that new Hellboy. Have you seen that sweary, bloody new Hellboy trailer?
I have
Man,
not.
man,
good.
they're going hard R on that, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited because that's
Yeah, that looks
that's
good.
the Hellboy I want. All right, let's get to it then.
Yes, exactly.
Sorry, that.
So
and,
those
yeah.
are your prizes, and the category today comes to us from Steve Lamson. Stephen Lamson. By the way, if you want to submit a suggestion for a Babel Royale topic, just send me an email, coverville@gmail.com. Make sure to put Babel Royale in the subject line. Can be whatever else you want to put in there, but Babel Royale, and it's BABBLEROYALE if you want to be accurate about it.
Yep.
Because I get a lot of Leaning Tower of Babel spelled royal. There's a lot of alternatives to Babel Royale. All right.
I totally thought it was like Battle Royale for the longest time up until like maybe 3 weeks ago.
Well, we're riffing on that, so
Yeah,
that's fair confusion. I
And
wouldn't
Coach
feel
from
bad.
Home reminds us that John Hurt was in V for Vendetta. Very much a
Oh,
connection
right. I forgot he's the bad guy in that. He was the great leader, the Hitler
right.
in that thing. Yeah, he was good in
He was
that.
the Hitler in that.
Yeah.
All right. So Steve says, in The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening for the SNES back in 1992, there are 24 selectable items that you can use in the game. 24 items. Now, these aren't like swords, shields, tunics, and gloves. Those are other things that Link can equip, but he can't really change those out. Like basically, you get those when you get an upgrade, it replaces those. These are things that he can like swap out and uses in his A and B slots or whatever they are.
And
What,
which of the
slots?
Zelda games? Sorry, all games.
The
Or-
original?
Link's Awakening.
Link's
24
Awakening.
items. Link's Awakening.
Oh my gosh! Holy shit!
All right.
All right.
Woo!
Yeah.
Crazy. Alex, knowing that that's the topic, who is going to win this, and who do you want to start?
Oh, good lord. Let's go with Brian. I'm going to go with Brian for the win. I'm sorry, Scott.
It's all right. Hey,
What?
Listen, I don't. Yes, that's fine. Let's do it. Let's make Brian. You're gonna prove yourself
And
here.
who do you want to start?
I'll let Scott go first.
Okay.
Okay. Scott goes first. All right.
All right. So now these are. I just want to make sure I have this 100% correct.
Yes.
Like equipable items, like
Equipable
but
items.
not-
Exactly.
not as
But
clothes.
not his clothes, not his sword, nothing like that, or
Right. Not his sword or his tunic or his shield, glove, anything like that.
Okay.
Those four. And I'll also say, I mean, potions are not. Potions are not.
wow. So
listed here.
what is left?
Oh, I'll tell.
There are other
I know
things. Oh,
stuff
there are
that's
other
left.
things.
There are
Yeah.
definitely things. Okay. That's one of the greatest Zelda games ever. And I'm going to put in there, well, let's go with one I know for sure. Let's say the bow.
The bow and arrow. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Dunaway.
I'm gonna go with the shield.
I thought we couldn't do shield, no?
Can't do shields.
Oh, you did when you can't do shield?
I'm giving you another shot because you obviously
Yeah, you
have
missed
not
that.
had
Well,
your
I mean,
second
if,
cup of
okay,
coffee.
so he can't do sword, but he can do bow. I'm thinking then maybe with not can't do any weapons. And you're saying like, yeah, you can. And I'm
Well,
like, okay, then maybe not.
Here are the things to eliminate. Do not include swords, shields, tunics, gloves, or potions.
Keep your head in the game here, Brian. You got this. I believe in you.
How about a shovel? Can you use? Can he do that? Or is that considered something he has to fight with?
He does have a shovel, and that is one of the items.
Got lucky.
Totally got lucky.
Yeah.
All right.
He has a boomerang at some point.
He does have a boomerang.
Yeah, I forgot about boomerang.
Because it's a Zelda game.
Right.
Need that thing to retrieve items from the opposite side of the, the chasm.
Yep. Got puzzles.
And you said no clothing of any sort?
No, just no tunic and no gloves. I'm looking at this list. And
so
it's like,
I can do the flying boots then.
Does he have to have the actual name of the flying boots though? Because they weren't just called the flying boots.
Well, here's the thing.
I know what they're called.
I'm not even seeing the flying boots in here.
Really?
This is a bad. This must be a bad list.
Yeah, there should be a pair of boots in there. I'll tell you the name if Dunaway doesn't know it. Do you not know the name of them, Dunaway?
They're the wait a second, let me think.
Yeah, I don't see them listed here. So
no, I can't remember the name of the boots. Flying boots.
Pegasus boots.
Pegasus boots. I can still get it right.
But they're not on that list.
They're not on the list for whatever reason. Yeah, but they were totally. You know what? Because I did not say those as part of the thing of things not to say, and those are absolutely part of Link's Awakening. Pegasus boots. We will continue on with that one.
Okay.
Marked off.
All right, you got lucky there.
Yeah.
Oh wait, it just left me. Hold on.
I mean, it's not. Icor says boots are clothing. Maybe. I mean, they are clothing, and it's weird because there are a couple other items of clothing in this list, so you can't just say no clothing. But
no, there's special items though of clothing. Like his core stuff though is what you were eliminating. Right. I totally get that.
Yeah.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. The
equip
boots
them though, right?
Yeah, you absolutely have to equip the Pegasus boots.
It's really weird.
Right.
The thing where you shoot the deal, the hook shot. That's
the
it.
hook shot. That's exactly what it's called. The hook shot.
The thing with the thing with the hooky shots.
Yes. All right. Back to you, Brian.
This is so. I'm so afraid I'm going to say the wrong thing.
I'm running out.
You have to equip.
This is tougher than
I know. I'm playing some of it in my head right now.
Yeah. And there's so many Zelda games that share a lot of this stuff,
right?
But there's always something unique. And
couldn't you get the ocarina in this one as well? Or am I getting it mixed up?
Oh, please tell me this was before Ocarina of Time, please.
This was before Ocarina of Time. Yeah, this is 1992.
Does it have one?
It doesn't have an ocarina per se.
Really?
But
then I will go with a flute type of thing.
Flute is exactly the word I wanted you to say. Very good. Flute.
Okay, it has a flute.
Yeah. Boy, I'm
We're bending the rules.
Wow.
Bending a lot of rules in this one. Just to keep it going.
Yeah. There's always a bomb, so a bomb.
The bomb. Yes.
That's a good one. But you equip that? Yeah, I guess you do. Because we kind of.
You have to, or else you can't use it. Well,
yeah.
Some of the Zelda games, like the Wind Waker, I think you could, if they just grew somewhere, you could pick them up and throw them. But
Right.
Pretty sure you had to equip it in that game.
So you could equip his sweet Zelda belt.
What?
That store has Zelda right on it, and
It's got a big Z on it.
That's
With
funny.
a belt buckle.
Oh.
Except he's not. It's actually an L since it's actually Link. But we always call him.
you might have backed the wrong horse, Alex.
Oh, shoot.
You think?
Oh, that's funny.
Oh no.
Can I guess? I want to guess at a couple.
Yeah, just a couple more here.
There's a magic rod.
It's the magic stick.
It was my wrestling name in high school, but
It's a magic stick.
There is not a magic rod.
oh,
There are the ice rod and the fire rod.
oh shoot. Okay,
Those are
I would have
magical.
probably gotten that one wrong unless we stretched the
Yep.
rules for it. All right, how about the feather? I don't remember what it's called. There's a feather.
There is.
I don't remember the name.
It's not listed
It's all
here.
feather,
I'm
right?
just going to tell you the other things you could have said.
Okay.
The Bombos medallion,
Okay.
the Book of Eudora, the magic boomerang, which is different from the regular boomerang, secondary. Bottle, so you can store a fairy in there for a little bit of life support.
Yeah.
Silver arrows, separate from the bow and arrow.
Oh,
the
why did I
bug
think of that?
collecting net.
Mm-hmm.
The cane of Burna, the cane of Samaria, the ether medallion, fire rod, ice rod, lantern, magic cape, magic hammer, magic mirror, magic powder, mushroom, the non-magic variety, and the quake medallion.
Quake medallion. I would have never
Quake
gotten that.
medallion. What?
Ah, well, I
Yeah,
feel
that
all right
was,
about that. That could have been
That
worse.
was a tough one. Wow, holy
That was
mackerel.
hard.
Yeah, that could have been. Who gave us that one? Who's the
That was Steve Lamson.
nice one, Steve? Well done.
It was a good. It's a good memory stretcher there. So, these prizes will carry over to Wednesday, and we'll add something else to them.
Alex, you get nothing. All right.
I'm sorry, Alex.
Well, look.
You get my respect.
Like he said, sometimes you just I think I was done after that. So this is another one of those cases where maybe having you start would have helped you win. Because
Maybe.
I think I was out.
Yeah.
I had nothing after that. Like, I don't know. The feather is, for some reason, there's a feather in my head, but I'm thinking
Yeah,
the wrong
people are
game.
saying Rock's Feather. Yeah.
Oh, was that in that game? Is that
So
what-
Telazorel said I said the wrong game. That's Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening would have been...
Let me-
what year
let me
was Link's
find-
Awakening? That would have been... I don't know when that was.
Find that email because I have a link. I have a link. Ah!
Oh, I get it. You have a link on the internet, but it's like his name. I get it.
I will say this. Okay, hold on a second. So he said Link's Awakening for the SNES, and then gave me a link to A Link to the Past.
Oh, oops.
What?
He gave you the wrong one then.
He gave me a list from A Link to the Past, but in the text of the email he said Link's Awakening. So
because Link's Awakening is a
So that means I
game-
win.
That's a
I win.
that
Yes.
means you know what? We're giving the prize to Alex. We're not
Because
carrying his
there
own,
was
'cause,
totally a belt buckle in that one.
right now,
He still would have gotten that part wrong.
really stuck on that belt buckle.
Yeah, you know what? This is one of those cases then where you give it to him because of the. It's not because one of us would have been wrong or right. It's because
Right. No, it's because the game is it's a not hung jury. Throwing the case out. No, what's the thing? What is
it's
the-
a
mistrial. It was
Mistrial.
a mistrial.
It's a mistrial.
There you go.
That's right.
There you
If
go.
you want to retry, you're gonna have to lawyer up and start the whole process again. Or in this case, you just get the prizes. That's how that works.
Yes.
So wait, can
I'm
you
look-
tell
I'm
me if
pulling
there's a
up-
magic rod in the one that you
I'm
were
pulling
supposed
up
to get?
Link's Awakening right now because I'm curious about this. Link's Awakening bosses items in Link's Awakening. Here we go. Sword, shield, mirror shield, Rock's Feather, power bracelet, Pegasus boots, bow, hook shot, magic rod, boomerang.
Magic
Ocarina.
rod. There's magic rod.
Isn't
There was
Isn't a
Magic Rod.
bracelet?
Ocarina was in there as well.
Oh,
Isn't a
ocarina!
bracelet-
Powder
Ooh,
bomb.
You would have gotten an ocarina there, Brian.
Yeah, well, I got flute, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, isn't a bracelet just essentially a belt for your wrist? So I mean, nailed it.
Yeah. Bracelets, also known as belt for your wrist.
The belt for your wrist. Yeah, I'm going to go into Kohl's and say, hi, do you have any of those belts for your wrists? Looking to see secret seashell flippers, magnifying lens, sleepy mushroom, piece of power, golden leaf. I am not. There's dog food. That's hilarious.
Oh. And sleepy mushroom, eh?
Pink bra. There's a pink bra in Link's Awakening as an item.
Well, Link's he awakened to lots of interesting things in that game.
Oh, only on the Japanese and early European release was there a pink bra in Link's Awakening.
Great. Who wears it?
Yeah.
What's the point of that thing?
If you don't know,
used in a
Scott.
trading sequence. So
Oh, okay. It wasn't like he was experimenting, and
It's for
there's
support.
there's also a necklace which is like a belt for your neck.
That's why I wear socks. They act as a. Well, no, that's like pants for my foot. Socks are pants for your feet.
Socks are pants for your feet.
Yep. There you go. Dunaway, the pleasure has been ours. I don't know if it's been yours, but it's definitely been
Yours
ours.
has been a blast. I loved it. This is fun.
Yeah.
We'll be back together, you and I, later today, 3:30 Mountain Time, for an episode of The Boop Show, talking about cool indie games we played this week, and I played a couple that I'm pretty stoked to talk about. So that'll be me and Dunaway today, 3:30 p.m. Mountain Time, right here at frogpants.tv if you want to watch it live, or you can catch it on the podcast later at frogpants.com/BOOP.
Boop.
Brian, have a good one. Bye now. All right, he's gone.
Okay. All right.
I'm beyond stoked that you're not getting echo. You must have been something you did. Maybe taking that mic out of the mix did it there as well.
Yeah, could be.
Weird.
Weird. Mm-hmm. I know. I don't know what caused it, but hey, I'm glad it's gone.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
We shan't complain. All right, let's do some quick news.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive sensational summary of world and local events.
It's time for the news, brought to you by...
There will be dungeons. Scott, where are things with that show?
Well, we're at a very important pinnacle moment for that show, because we finished a full year, and also the first major arc of the campaign, wrapped that up a couple of weeks ago. We had a little mini one-off over the last 2 weeks that John ran, his own little story, which was totally fun. New characters, great little sort of offshoot thing that we did. This coming Saturday, we launch into year 2 and phase 2 of the Dragon Engine campaign. And it's going to be amazing. In our world that we've created, 3 months have passed since we last saw our characters. And so... wonder what has changed, what hasn't changed, what adventures lie before them. Who knows? Check it out at therewillbedungeons.com. If you like Dungeons and Dragons, you'll like this. Therewillbedungeons.com.
Would you say that this is a good jumping on point for new listeners who maybe missed the first season or first year and maybe want to jump in?
Yes, I would say that, because we also not only will have a pretty great recap of the previous year, but also perfect time to jump in. Absolutely. Because they're kind of untethered from all of the scenarios that were plaguing them their first year, and now kind of starting fresh. So in a way, it's a perfect time to get in. So great question. And yes, people should get in now. So check it out.
Very good.
Very good indeed. Therewillbedungeons.com. All right, I'm going to do a quick story. I'm going to pick my favorite from today.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones.
Oh, man. I think I'm going to go with... You know what? Let's do this one. We'll do the one that affects me in my life.
Okay.
Start decking the halls early. Hallmark is going to air record-breaking 40 new Christmas movies this year.
Wow.
40 Christmas movies in the Hallmark Christmas Channel bullcrap thing I hate so much. I wonder if what's her name, who's in trouble right now, will even be in any of those. Because she was
Lori Loughlin?
Yeah.
Was she was a frequenter of the Hallmark Christmas movie?
Oh, big time. That's kind of where she lives now, is over there.
Yeah, well.
She did anyway. I don't know if that's going to happen now.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's in any, like, production's done on some of these. I don't know. With 40 movies, you got to have some of this done. So who knows?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, joy to the world indeed. It's not even Easter Sunday. Well, actually, when is Easter Sunday? Next week?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
The 21st.
Gotcha. We did a little egg thing for some of the nieces and nephews yesterday, so it's confused me now. I don't know what day it is, but
So is Alicia Witt gonna slip right into that vacancy left by Lori Loughlin?
well, she already did a lot of these, but if she slips into that vacancy, that means she'll be in all of them now. This is just be all her.
Okay, maybe a cameo by Brett Butler as someone's mom.
There you
or,
go. Dean Cain. Dean Cain will show up in there.
Dean Cain.
Although
Dylan Sprouse, perchance.
Dean Cain turned out to be kind of a poop, so maybe they'll pull him out. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, the network just revealed it will air this record-breaking 40 episodes, brand new Christmas movies this year. This according to Entertainment Weekly. I believe them. Let's see. The site reports Hallmark Channel will show 24 of these new films, and Hallmark Movies and Mysteries will broadcast 16 more. But perhaps the best news of all, we don't have to wait until December for these festive flicks. The publication adds that the first airing is set to happen in July during the Keepsake Christmas campaign, which marks the halfway point to December 25th.
There is no good thing that comes from the 3-word phrase, Christmas in July.
Agreed.
I don't care if it's a car sale or whatever. Christmas in July. No Christmas anywhere outside of December. Thank you.
Yep. It does say even though they're doing that, they're still sticking with their super popular countdown to Christmas tradition. This starts October 25th. Still too early. And we'll launch with 3 features that day. The Christmas Song, starring Kristen Chenoweth and Scott Wolf.
Oh, yeah. Oh, geez. Those two. Right? There you go. There's your...
Yeah.
Those feel like your go-tos. Kristen Chenoweth.
Absolutely. And then you got Holiday for Heroes, starring Melissa Claire Egan and Mark Blucas. And then an untitled motion picture produced by country star Blake Shelton.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Can we guess on what the title of the Blake Shelton Christmas Hallmark Christmas movie is going to be called? Is going to be like they could capitalize on his name and call it A Very Blake Christmas.
Yeah. They could.
Which sounds like a very bleak Christmas now that I say it out loud. Or
it's snowing outside. Seek Shelton. That's not the same. That doesn't work. How about a cowboy Christmas? Oh, starring Blake Shelton. I don't even know who that is really. I know the name.
on the Ranch.
Is he? There probably would already be one called that. There's so many.
Yes, I'm sure.
Anyway, if you're excited about that stuff,
start watching those in July, you think?
Yeah, she probably would if she knew that. I'm not sure she knows about this. I'm gonna have to let her know. But Jeannie loves these, so she's excited. I know.
Bama Born 81. The title is going to be called "Paying Miranda Lambert's Alimony: A Blake Shelton Christmas."
Oh, that's who that is then. Now I do know who Blake Shelton is then.
Yes,
I'd forgotten about that.
He's now with No Doubt Gwen Stefani.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she could do better.
They turned their chairs around at the same time on The Voice, and their eyes met.
What happened to Bush? What happened to him? No Bush?
What?
Bush. She used to be with Bush.
You're talking about lead singer of Bush.
Matt Groening.
Gavin Rossdale.
There it is. What happened to Gavin?
I guess he's a little intense. I think he was probably a little too intense for Gwen.
Oh, too much Bush in her life.
Yeah, she... There's so many... I mean, it's like...
Don't they have like 5 kids together or something? They had like a big family going, I thought. I don't know. Makes me sad. I don't know people should
break... They had some glycerine.
Glycerine. Honey, what do you want for breakfast? Glycerine. Okay, that's it. I want a divorce. Enough.
Need me to pick up anything at the store? Listerine.
Listerine.
All right, have anything else? Vaseline. Okay. Anything else? Ovaltine. Okay, have anything else for the store? Do you need me to pick up?
I was only quarter of a
tank. Machines.
You better get some gasoline because I drove a lot. Micro machines. That's good. I'd divorce him too. Now that you've said it that way, I'd be done with it.
Yeah, there you go. That's what life was like with Kevin Roster. Magazines, Green Machine, Mr. Clean.
Oh my gosh.
There's an entire wow.
You
could
do the whole
actually
list.
fill the back of a Subaru with enough items that rhyme with Listerine. And...
Yeah, honey, I'm trying to lose weight. Give me some lean cuisine.
Yeah, these are all great.
It's good stuff. All right, that's it for the news because we don't have any other time. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we got major spoilers all lined up, ready to go with Steven, and then after that, we'll talk to Daryl today. We do have some Trek news, so we'll get to that here in a minute. But before that, a song. Yes. Do you have one?
Yes, a little bit of pop, almost dance music, but not quite as uppity as dance, but still really good stuff. London King is releasing her 4th single, I believe. This is her 4th release. She originally released a song called Seeking in the Darkness, Antichrist Child. Anyway, she started performing at 4, and then she started songwriting at the age of 11. Started her solo career at the age of, when she back in 2010. I don't know how old she was then, and moved to the UK in 2012. Her name, appropriately enough, is London King. Here is the song "Broken Bridges" by London King.
We'll be right back.
Who knows what strange drama may happen tomorrow, or an hour from now, or in just a moment.
I found a new buttery way to
That's from The Deuce.
Yeah, The Deuce.
We can't date. You're too oily. This is the morning stream.
All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I think she said cook, just for the record.
Oh.
She found an oily way to cook. Ugh. No, not oily. Buttery way to cook. That's what it was. I got Fletcher and her mixed up.
I don't like any of these.
These are all bad.
Paula Dean.
Who's your favorite guy? Oh, man. I want to do can we do a whole list of things? We've already done it, but there's more.
Yeah, there's totally more, yeah.
Let's see.
Franks and beans.
How do you like your new TV, Gavin? I need a bigger screen. Like, you could just go forever.
Totally could.
What hammer do you want out of the toolbox? Ball peen. See?
Totally.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of the man's anatomy? Man ween. That doesn't work as well.
What's your favorite Michael Jackson song? Billie Jean.
The toilet's dirty. What should we clean it with? Mr. Clean. Anyway. I mean, really, we've just found words that rhyme with "een." That's what we've done.
Yeah. Oh, the Easter's coming up. What would you like? Jelly bean.
Jelly bean. So stupid. All right. Hey, wait, what? Oh, let's do this. I got to play a thing. Here you go.
Steven.
Can't believe we didn't say creamy peen. Hey, look, everybody who's on the line. It's our good friend and pal and cohort over there, Mr. Steven Schleicher from Majorspoilers.com. Hello, Steven.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning, Brian. Hey, you're looking really good, man.
He is, doesn't he?
Thanks.
I'm looking you on the stream, and you're looking like a slim
Jim
guy that wants to jump off the top of a building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm well, as a matter of fact, I didn't talk about this on Friday because we didn't have a show on Friday. AJ's back, so Justine Bateman is back at Weight Watchers. She did not weigh me, but her cohort did as usual, and I am up 1.4, but that's all right.
That's okay. You can fluctuate a little. Yeah, you can fluctuate a little. It'll be fine. But yeah, Brian's living the dream.
Did not help with Tina being out of town for 4 days last week, so...
Charlie Sheen. Sorry, I'm seeing all
Charlie
these
Sheen.
The chat room's got some good ones. Steven Schleicher, it's always good to talk to you, and we're going to do that. Today we're also going to remind people that once a month now, Steven and I are back to doing Comic Dorks, which I know a lot of people are very happy about. I'm happy to report in the month of March, it was our third, and by a very close margin, almost second place in total downloads for all shows on the Frog Pants Network. It did really well for our little comeback. So if you didn't know that or are interested in checking out what we're going to do with that thing, go over there and check it out. comicdorks.com. It's comicdorks.com. Okay, Steven, let's get into it.
Man.
You saw Shazam, yeah?
I did. Let me tell you something to lead up to that.
All right,
because
go
it's
for
kind
it.
of a reward system. So I have two boys, right? I talk about the oldest because he's the one that's most active, and he does all the soccer stuff. He won another first place championship at soccer this weekend.
Nice.
But I don't usually talk about my youngest son, who's 7.
Yeah.
Because he really just kind of doesn't. He does his own thing, right? He's a really smart kid. But for the last couple of years, I've been trying to say, karate might be a thing you might want to get into. And he's always like, no. And then his uncle on my wife's side teaches karate. And so they were up last summer. And so he's like, maybe I would like to take karate. So he's been doing karate for a month now, just 1 month. And we entered him into a competition this past weekend. And on the way to the competition, I said, let's get pumped up, boy, because he's a little nervous. Let's get pumped up. So we're playing like Queen, We Are the Champions, and We Will Rock You, and Can't Stop Me Now. And we had Joe B. Esposito's with his You're the Best, and Survivor's Eye of the Tiger, and he's back there. He's singing some of those songs. And then I'm like, oh, man, those are some good songs. What do you want to hear? Party in the USA from Miley Cyrus. And I was like, are you sure? Because I don't mind. It's a good song.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you sure? And he's like, yeah, that's a song I want to listen to. And I'm like, okay. So we put it on the stereo. We're blasting it really loud. And I'm finally really, really, really listening to the words, because there's got to be something about this song that really pumps him up. And then you listen to it, and it's about a person who's coming into a strange place, doesn't know what to expect, and then suddenly here's this one song
comes on the radio
that centers him, that centers the character Miley Cyrus in the song, and really just makes everything okay. So I think for him, he's listening to that and goes, this is my anthem song. This is the song that gets me excited about being somewhere strange and doing something strange. And he just had fun with it. So I had a question for you and Brian.
All right.
And Brian might want to take the lead on this one. What are some other non-traditional anthem songs that get you guys pumped up?
Oh, man.
Yeah, I like, and it's funny because we're kind of going to be talking a little bit about this, but Don't Stop Me Now by Queen is a big one for me. And
oh, yeah, Queen's got lots of those, don't they?
Well, they do. I mean, We Are the Champions is good, and We Will Rock You, but those don't pump you up as much as like a good, up tempo, bam, 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 bam.
Man, I'm having a hard time thinking of one, because I know I have these, and when I hear them, I get excited. And back in the day, it used to be I can't remember the name of it. Let me hum a few bars here.
I mean, I like Immigrant Song. That's a good one to get me pumped up.
Oh, yeah, right. That's a good one. Boy, after Thor, that thing's taken on a new life for me, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, this part, man, and all I can hear in my head is Party in the USA. That's all I can think of now.
What about
J.K. Grammer says, Danger Zone. You've Got the Touch.
Yeah.
You got the touch. That's good.
How about well, you know what gets me going is that Bad Company cover by who does that? Bad Company by Five Finger Death Punch cover of Bad Company.
All right.
This one right here. There's just something about that one, but it's a little darker. I don't know.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be different for everybody. And the chat is just filling up the room with all sorts of good suggestions. Footloose, Beverly Hills Cop soundtrack. Let's see.
How about this song from the Blade movie soundtrack?
I mean, yeah, why not?
There we go.
The Mortal Kombat theme song.
Child, Little Chemical Brothers, and
you know what? That's what it is. It's for me. It's Crystal Method, and the song is not Trip Like I Do. What is it? Oh, my brain today. Almost anything by Crystal Method, but there's a couple of songs on the Vegas album that'll just do this to me every time. But
Casey
I think
Calhoun
that's great.
Says Baby Shark.
Dude, it's a terrible idea.
So the upshot of all of this is he did take first place in his division for forms.
Nice.
Oh, that's great. What does that mean? What do you do? What's forms?
That's where you show your positions and your styles and everything for a bunch of judges. And he did really good for his first time. You could tell he was nervous, but he got out there and did it. And then he also wanted to try out the sparring, and he'd only done sparring practice twice. And he got his butt kicked.
Oh.
It was kind of funny. It was just, there was a kid that was like 2 feet taller than him and a belt advanced to him and just was double kicking him in the head and doing everything. But he stood his ground and he did a good job. And so afterwards, it was like, okay, we're going to miss your brother's second soccer game today. What do you want to do instead? Because they were in Lawrence, we were in Missouri. He goes, let's see Shazam. So he's been wanting to see this for a couple of weeks now. So it's like, okay, let's go see Shazam. And I got to tell you, it was much, 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 much better than I expected. And the trailers are totally misleading you. Not in the way that Star Trek was misleading you, the horrible Wrath of Khan remake. Not in the way that was misleading you, but in that there is so much that's in the movie and so many surprises in the movie that are not in the trailer that when you see them in the movie, you're like, this is not what I was expecting. And early on, I was convinced that that this movie was just going to be a remake of Big from that very first trailer. And either they recut it or they changed it quite a bit enough because the bit that they're dancing on the pianos, just in there for a flash.
I know. I never saw that in the trailer. So when that came up, I was laughing my head off in the theater.
It's a great reference. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
It really is. Yeah.
But I was really surprised. This movie, I kind of knew ahead of time because some people had given me a heads up, like, there's some scary stuff in this movie. And of course, there's these monsters in the movie that Shazam has to fight in addition to Dr. Savannah. And I was like, oh, man, is he going to freak out watching this stuff? And so if you've got really young kids, maybe, under the age of 7, you might want to just be aware that there are some scary monsters doing some pretty horrible things in this movie. But there's also laugh out loud moments. And my son came out of this just loving this movie and really liked it a lot. Still didn't. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is still better, according to him.
Well, I hear,
and of course,
I've heard really great things about it, and that makes me really happy to hear that. It feels like this is another, DC surprise where they kind of got it right.
And there are DC references throughout this movie. I mean, there's just like they live in. I mean, this is a movie that takes place in the Justice League universe. So, you've got kids wearing the Aquaman t-shirts, you've got Batman toys, you've got, at one point, not really a spoiler, but Freddie Freeman shows off this flattened bullet that he's collected that has an authentic certification that it hit Superman in the chest, and this is one of the bullets that they recovered from that.
That's cool.
And there's a lot of stuff in there, and even the end credits is just paying a total homage to Shazam as part of the Justice League, because it's got Wonder Woman and the Flash and Aquaman and Batman and Superman, and this is all an animated trailer bit, so that's nothing spoiler. But it's really good. It's really a good movie. The biggest troubling thing, and I guess I take it you two have not seen it.
Brian saw it, right?
I saw it. We saw it Friday night.
Yeah.
So, of course, everyone knows that Billy Batson is an orphan, and there are some moments in this movie where, depending on your perspective, you could really walk away with the underlying theme of this movie of one of two things: either parents are horrible.
Yes, right.
Or if you wanted to make it a little bit more narrow, single parents are horrible.
Oh, geez.
Right.
Yeah, and so that's the one kind of, I walked out of that going, okay, well, this is kind of telling kids that you got to watch out because not all parents are great. But then I was like, oh, wait, there are 2 single parents in here and they are horrible.
And also the police are horrible about finding kids' parents.
Yes. The police are doofuses.
Well, it's nice to know that's still the thing.
I was like excited to see John Glover as
yes,
the dad of the bad guy. I was like, oh my god, I've seen that guy in so many movies. He's in your favorite Scott Scrooged, but
he was
one of these guys that
he plays Dr. Savannah's or Thaddeus Savannah's father in this. But what's interesting about John Glover is everyone knows him as Lionel Luthor from the Smallville series. So he's the father of 2 DC supervillains.
Oh, that guy, right there he
Yes.
is. Yeah, I do like him actually. That guy's cool.
He played the Donald Trump parody in that Gremlins 2 movie that basically owns the building that the Gremlins kind of go nuts in.
Right. I forgot he was in Gremlins too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and he was in Batman and Robin, but only as Dr. Jason Woodrue. So unfortunately, he wasn't like Two-Face's dad or something. Like
Right.
Wow.
I guess that was Batman and Robin, so Two-Face wasn't in
Yeah,
that
I knew him mostly
Poison
from mostly from Smallville is just where his face immediately is recognizable for me as Lex Luthor's dad. But that's cool to hear. So overall, Brian, what was your take? I've heard.
I loved it. Yeah, Tina and I both really had a good time with it. The guy next to us. So we had a couple next to us, and I was going to tell this at the top of the show, but I decided I'd wait until we started talking Shazam. So we experienced a couple instances of guys being dicks to the women, or just being aloof bastards to their dates.
Great.
So next to Tina and I in the theater, woman sitting right next to me, and then her boyfriend, husband, whatever, Tinder date, whatever, right next to her. And about a third of the way through the movie, it looked like she was just getting horrible headaches. And so her head was like in her hands like this. She was covering her face. And he looks over at her and just goes back to watching the movie and doesn't like say, "Are you okay? Do you need something?" I thought about doing it, but I didn't want to get involved if this guy was a little bit of a jackanate. But for the whole rest of the movie, for the whole last 2/3 of the movie, she had her head in her hands and was like looking up at the screen and kind of going back and closing her eyes. It wasn't that scary through 2/3 of the movie.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, if you're, be aware. If your wife's not having a good time, girlfriend's not having a good time, you can come back and see the movie another time.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yes. Dude, what a douche. I'm irritated by this guy. I don't even know him.
Total douche.
Yeah.
That said, we had a great time. Loved the movie.
Okay, well, good.
And great. The end credits, as Steven was saying, the animated part of the end credits is a blast. The two stingers, mid credits and post credits stingers are fun.
Yeah.
I would say the mid-credit sequence is more important than the post-credit sequence.
Yeah, okay. And
so if you really have to use the bathroom after 2 hours, then you could skip the very, very final one.
You could. You totally could. Yeah. Because that's just, it's kind of the Marvel technique, right? The mid-credits Marvel stuff is usually like, important setup to the next thing. And then the post one is like, little comedy bit.
Yeah, little throwaway thing, sure.
Yeah.
So,
but,
Steven, let me
I don't know. I didn't recognize the mid credits, so I'll have to go back and look and figure out who that is. I'm not a DC guy. I don't know who that was.
Well, so that appearance that ends in the mid credit sequence, without spoiling things, appears at once at the very beginning of the movie, and then they make a reference about halfway through the movie to that same character.
Saw that character both times.
Okay, I'll tweet you.
Is that a real? That's a regular DC character, right?
Yes, it is. It's a big important one for Shazam.
Is it Apache Chief? Tell me it's Apache
Chief.
Yes,
it's Apache Chief and Black Lightning and all the other troubling.
I would really like it to be Apache Chief. I knock Chuck, and it gets all big. He's the best.
Yes, some people have been asking me. This is very much a Jeff Johns story, especially the last half of the movie is a Jeff Johns Shazam story. So if people have read the comics, and they do, depending on what theater you go to, you could get a free Shazam comic book out of this deal, and it's the Jeff Johns run. So yeah, you will want to go check that out.
Main villain is Mark Strong, right?
Yeah, as Mr. Savannah or Dr. Savannah. Can't remember which way they call him in this movie. And if you're rushing over to the IMDb to look for potential spoilers, either the IMDb people aren't doing their jobs, or the creators put so many false leads into the movie because half the people that are on that IMDb credit listing don't even show up in the movie.
Oh, weird. Bunch of cutting room stuff.
Really?
So, okay, so there's that thing I wanted to ask. And the other thing I was going to say is, do you enjoy the irony that is the fact that in theaters right now, in a proper initial theatrical run, you have both Captain Marvel and Shazam running at the same time?
Yes, it's very ironic. And, It would have been nice if Shazam could have stolen some of Captain Marvel's thunder. Haha, see what I did there.
Oh, yeah.
But, Shazam did pretty good. It opened here in the United States at $56 million, $158 million, I think, worldwide, with a production budget that's really low for a superhero franchise. It's going to make its money back next weekend.
Yeah. Well, Zachary Levi's cheap. He'll work for whatever. Just let him know, and he'll show up and work for the cheap.
This just in. Apparently, DC is really rushing out to the theaters a Justice League against Darkseid battle for the end of April. Wow, that's coming out quick.
Wow, that's great. Can't wait. I'm excited about it. But no, for reals, I hope that the word of mouth grows and that it does gangbusters, because I think DC is trying to turn the ship. They're trying to,
This movie definitely has the lightheartedness that a DC movie needed, and it also has the intense, scary moments that people that are like, I need dark and brooding. This also has those moments too. So
all right.
I think you and I will be spending a lot of time talking about Captain Marvel and Shazam and where all the confusion and the copyright and the trademark and all of those issues came about on the next Comic Dorks.
I think you're probably right. That'll be coming up sometime in the next couple of weeks. Let's see. The week before Vegas,
2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah, something like that. I think the week before Vegas is when we record, or the Monday before, which will be great. Yeah.
So let's get this cleared up. Ninja Steve says it is pronounced Darkseid. I always thought it was pronounced Darkseid, but then I heard somebody say no, it's Darkseid.
No, there's a different dude, right?
Darkseid.
Isn't there a Darkseid?
No.
Is a different dude?
No. There's just some moron online who keeps saying Darkseid, and it's not.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. So
and it's not you, Scott. You're not the moron I'm referring to.
No.
It's the moron that started this.
But it will always be. But it's always been side, not seed. Right?
It's always been side, which makes more sense. Darkseid. Oh,
wasn't that who?
That's a Jack Kirby character.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he created the whole New Gods.
I didn't know that. Wow, you always think of him as just the Marvel dude, but I had no idea.
Oh yeah, no. When Jack Kirby finally got fed up with Marvel, DC was like, "Come to us. You can do whatever you want. If you want to do Superman, we'll give you Superman, and you can do whatever you want." And Jack Kirby's like, "How about you give me Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen," which was the title of the comic. And they're like, "Oh, okay." And then the minute that Jack Kirby starts, he starts creating this myth of the New Gods and introducing Darkseid and the Forever People and just doing some bonko crazy stuff in the pages of Jimmy Olsen until the New Gods were so popular that they became their own thing.
So hold on a second. Was that really called Superman's
Yeah, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen.
Oh my lord, really?
Yeah, and for a long time it was Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane.
Wow, that's a weird way to do titles. I don't know why that's so weird to me, but it is. All right, well, we'll all look at it, and I know you've seen that Joker trailer. Maybe
it looks really good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But I'm hearing it's going to be a one-off, that it's not going to be part of the regular DC universe.
No, definitely, it's definitely its own thing.
That's okay. I mean, I would look at it the way I'd look at like the Killing Joke or something.
Well, I guess it couldn't be because we've already got our Joker in the DC, the current DC.
Is he? I don't know if he's still doing it though. I don't think he is. I think he's out. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that whole Nolan verse is not part of the.
Well, but also the newer Suicide Squad guy. What's his name?
Suicide Squad Joker.
Yeah.
I think he's out too. I don't think he's anymore.
Dallas Buyers Club Joker.
Yeah, that's the one. Anyway, all right. Well, that and more on Comic Dorks. Of course, all this stuff being coagulated and sprouted daily over at majorspoilers.com, and people should go there and be a part of that. Steven, anything else happening on the site people should be aware of?
No, but you should drink water because it keeps your system clean.
I done heard that before.
System clean. Aquamarine.
There were so many good ones earlier, like laser beam.
Simple green.
My favorite contribution that I've made is ruptured spleen. I think that's all I'm allowed to do. Benverine. That's a good one. Oh, all right. I want the animated adventures of Gavin Bush as he tries not to get divorced.
As he answers every question with.
Yeah, that's my kind of living. All right, we're gonna call Daryl and see what he has to say. Okay, hold on, Daryl. Don't say any words yet. I mean, you can if you want, but. I'm going to play a thing for you. Hold on. Where is it? Daryl. Here he is.
I protest. I am not a merry man.
Can I swim while I am on my period?
Yes. Daryl Skeels, the Emperor of Seattle, is here with us now to talk all things Trek because he, ladies and gentlemen, is the Trek nerd. Daryl, welcome to the show. Huh?
Ben Vereen.
Yeah, Ben Vereen.
He played Geordie's dad.
What?
Oh, there's the connection right there.
I had no idea Geordie even had a dad. When did that happen? When was that a thing?
Season 4 or 3, somewhere in there.
What, he just show up on the Enterprise going, I wanted to see what my son was up to, that kind of thing?
I don't even remember the episode, but he was in there.
Ben Vereen, TNG. I just want to see this.
Wasn't he? Oh, I hope I don't have this wrong.
No, I think you're right.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
I think you're right. There he is. Yep. He was, he was on an episode called, he was Commander Edward M. LaForge, MD, in the his seventh season, seventh episode.
Oh, that far out.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was an
Sounds
episode.
like it should be a new sitcom or a new drama series on.
Totally. He's only 72. He's not. I thought he was older. Anyway, he was on an episode called Interface in 1993. So there you go.
Okay.
Daddy Vereen. Hey, Daryl's here, everybody. He's going to talk to us about stuff. Daryl, did I tell you I'm up to like episode, 5 or 6 or something in Discovery Season 2?
Ah, well, that's good progress.
Yeah, and I really like it. I think this is a great season so far. I think I agree with almost everybody that they should take Anson, what's his name, and spin out a freaking whole show with Pike in it. Now, I hear some things happen toward the end here that would make that hard. So I'm not there yet, so I don't know. But
well, you did see the original series.
Yeah, I mean, assuming that that's what they do, that this is actually the prequel time for that, then okay, maybe not. But like, it seems like you could do a spinoff that's then his time in his prime, I guess. But then that's another prequel.
To be, yeah, I mean, I don't know if you necessarily see what happens to him between this and that episode of the original series, but they would have to go like pre-Discovery.
Yeah.
Pike.
Yeah, they'd have to take him out
because otherwise it's like, all right, well, we got about half a season in us and then we're done.
Yeah, and I know there's some controversy about this, prequel to the start of TOS, and some people are frustrated with that, but I really like him. I think he's great in it, and not since Hell on Wheels have I enjoyed so much Anson Mount as I am right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just good. It's just really good, and I like everything about it. Even the weird, stupid. It's very Star Trek. That's what I think I like about it. Even the cheesy stuff, like there's a mold creature living in Tilly, and we got to suck it out of her with these things. It's very TNG. It's very Star Trek.
That seemed very Ghostbuster-y to me.
A little bit, but it was also kind of like, the idea of isolating some kind of creature that's been manifesting as an old friend from junior high is very Star Trek. Like,
yeah,
they've adhered to that really well, I think, and I am enjoying it. So anyway, I just want to throw that out there. I'm not nearly caught up, but I'm getting there, and I'm enjoying the crap out of it. Mm-hmm. So Daryl, let's talk about this DS9 documentary.
Yeah, it's called What We Left Behind.
What I hope that means is that they're like, hey, Rene Auberginois left his bucket here that he would sleep in when he was Odo, or like crap they left behind. But no, that's not what it's about, probably.
Well, there could be some of that, but it's all about the making of the show and what everybody's doing now and the experiences of the time.
I'm all in on this. And Brian, it's a Fathom event. You going to go to this because it's part of your deal there, isn't it?
I don't know if it is or not. I mean, we do the AMC.
It is.
I don't know if Fathom events are always included in the A-list stuff, but if they are,
right. They may not be.
Oh, I see.
Because this is a pure one-off. Only one night, May 13th. That's it.
Right.
There's nothing else unless you get, streaming or DVD or whatever later.
Yeah, there will be that.
Yeah. That's probably how I'll get it because I never do these Fathom events. But I'm very interested in this. I want to see it.
It's going to be cool.
Yeah. And tickets go on sale April 12th, so that's in not too many days. Yeah.
Friday.
Actually, it would be worth seeing in the theater because they've remastered some of it in HD.
Mm-hmm. Do we know how many theaters? Is it widespread? Is this a limited thing, or do we know? I guess if it's Fathom, it's all AMC theaters, right?
I know it's AMC because that's
Fathom,
where I go to my Fathom things.
I thought that Fathom was an AMC thing.
Is it?
I thought they owned that whole joint, but maybe not.
I don't know.
Fathom Events.
Yeah.
Owned by. Let's see who owns that. No, maybe it's just Cinemedia.
Yeah, because somebody's saying Adhesive Wombat says Regal does Fathom events too. I remember seeing, we went to Regal for Fathom events.
Oh, here it is. They bought them. So I was kind of right. In 2013, Fathom Events was purchased as a standalone entity now owned by AMC.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Which also owns Cinemark, Regal Entertainment Group. So those theaters, I guess, would get it too. But yeah, it's an AMC joint.
All right, well, there you go.
So maybe you will. Maybe you should check and see.
Yeah, totally check.
You'll be our guy.
Waiting to see. Yeah, it's not on the website as far as obviously you can't buy tickets yet, but I was thinking maybe there'd be a little notification you can get to when it becomes available. I guess you can if you go to ds9documentary.com. There's
there you go.
Notification you can get.
It's a good thing. Hey, Daryl, do you know are any of the actors going to be at any of the screenings and then doing Q&A and that sort of thing?
Not that I know of, but they do surprises like that now and then.
Yeah, it could be like what's her name? Kieran Reese getting up going, that Avery Brooks, he was real handsy. Like that? That'd be that sort of stuff?
Hopefully not.
All right. That'd be good. No Me Too movements in the Star Trek universe that I'm aware of, which is good. Well, that's not true, actually. The biggest Me Too movement, perhaps, of all time happened in the Star Trek thing, but it was in Discovery with Dr. Hoo-Ha, who broke the news about Kevin Spacey doing his business.
Oh, Anthony Rapp. Yes, right. I forgot about
that was like one of the big ones, one of the big starters.
Me Too OG.
Yeah. Well, sort of. I guess the technically the Me Too thing was what's her name with Harvey Weinstein, but this was all happening at the same time.
Ashley Judd.
Me also was his big thing. He did Me also. Hashtag Me also.
Me also.
Me as well. I'm going to start I'm going to do the hashtag Me as well. No one will have a problem with it. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I too.
I as well. Daryl, also, Star Trek Golden Key Comics posted stamps are happening. You get 3 sheets, 6 per sheet. Each sheet will be released in a different country. Gambia on April 17th, Grenada on April 29th, and the Marshall Islands on the 30th. When do we get it?
We get it on April 30th. Oh. The only word in that whole sentence you didn't read.
No, why didn't I read that?
Or did you?
I thought I did.
When do we get it?
It's not on here. Available here when
released. You have to order it from the website because these are other countries, and our country never does fun things with stamps.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, you just wrote available when released.
We had a place where you could choose Fat Elvis or Skinny Elvis. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. This is true. Oh, look at these. These are great. They look like they look like comics. Yeah, these are great. Are these actual comic covers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Huh.
I kind of want these. Look at these. Yeah. They're so like Art Nouveau and stuff. Oh.
Yeah, our government wonders why the postage isn't doing so great. Well, they should do stuff like this.
I agree. We used to. We used to do a lot more of this. We don't really do it as much as we used to.
Won't keep me from using email. Sorry. I like stamps, but...
A good point. Yeah.
Actually, I did buy I bought the, when they had the Disney animated villains or something like that, I bought those. So I'd buy a set of these, sure.
Sure. I mean, does Grenada even have email? I mean, come on. I don't know either. I know nothing of Grenada except we have invaded there once or something, didn't we?
That's right. I remember the song, you say Grenada, and I say Grenada, Grenada, Grenada. Let's call the whole thing off. I can't even remember what that was from. That was something that, like...
SNL, right? Maybe?
Might have been SNL, yeah.
Seems like a thing that, like... who would do that? What era was that?
That would have been... would that have been in the Ebersol years?
Maybe, or maybe the years with... I can't think of his name. Who hosted the Oscars all those times? Billy
Crystal?
Billy Crystal. I picture Billy Crystal and I can't think of any names today, but I picture them singing it for some reason.
Guest, maybe.
Yeah, that whole era. It's got to be that, right?
Yeah.
Early 80s. Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's where you're getting it. I have a
Might
distinct
be.
memory
I'm
of
looking online to see if there's a genesis of this.
You say Grenada. Let's see. You say grenade.
Wow. Well, there was a cartoon in the Philadelphia Inquirer in 1983 with Reagan and Congressman Tip O'Neill doing "You say Grenada, I say Grenada."
Really?
You say Invada, I say Wybada. Grenada, Grenada, Invada, Wybada. Let's call the whole thing off.
See, I thought that was.
I don't know if it was SNL. That's hilarious.
Oh yeah, there it is. President Reagan's remarks. Oh, weird. I wouldn't have called that. All right. Well, whatever. We were kids. We don't know.
Yes, exactly.
Well, Daryl, this is all good. I look forward to my stamps and my documentary. Anything else going on in your world that you want to mention?
The Twilight Zone.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I heard that was good. I haven't seen the first episode though.
Yeah, I watched the first two right in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked the second one. I liked Adam Scott's episode more than I liked The Comedian.
Yeah.
I almost don't want to say the name of the Adam Scott one, but
that's fine. I like Adam Scott. Was he good in it?
He's great. He's picking up the William Shatner and John Lithgow mantle very well.
Oh, it's one of those kinds?
Well, it's not really a redo, though.
No? Is
no. I won't say anymore.
There's like he's on a bus and there's some kind of creature. Oh, no, that's the Simpsons did that. Simpsons did that.
That's right. Leslie Knope is on the side of this bus.
That'd be awesome. She'd be good at that, actually. She'd pull that off. There's been some weird rumors floating around that they're going to reboot that show for a final some episodes or something. Like
Parks and Rec, really?
Yeah,
huh.
And everybody.
Do they get Chris Pratt back?
Yeah.
Like,
he's all in apparently. He's like wants to do it. He'd be way too like buff and good looking for it though. He was all kind of fat and dopey in the show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is all good. Daryl is the Trek Nerd. You can find him at that moniker there over on the Twitter. And you can also follow his show, This Week in Trek, at thisweekintrek.com, where they talk about all things Star Trek each and every week. Daryl Skills, have a fantastic week.
Ga ga ga.
And we'll see you later.
Ga ga ga.
And we didn't have to hear his office talk and everything. That was good today. Well done, Daryl. Well done.
Janice moved to a different office, apparently.
That's right. She's out with her mother. Her mother has something wrong, so Janice needs some time off. We're going to play a mashup from the archives. Not from the archives. This is actually from episode 1681 to 1684, so right up to the minute.
Very recent archives.
Yes. The previous week, really, is what it's from. This is called Dream Material, and it's from our friend Jamie at TMS Mashups on Twitter. He's also at patreon.com/TMS Mashups. Does great work. Go check those out. He has special ones for his patrons. And here it is, Dream Material. California mammy. Sorry, California family. Mammy.
How I love you, mammy.
Rajesh Malhotra. How would you say that? Malhotra?
Just like that. Malhotra?
Malhotra. I've had dreams where I thought I was falling and then you wake up jerking or whatever.
Right, exactly.
That's common, and this is probably just like that.
I do want it to where if I bend it, I want it to snap. I want it to break.
The people over here at the what's it called?
The code. The gap.
The dungeon. The gap in the dungeon.
Something.
Horse bucket Garambe. I don't know what it is. I'm glad she's here.
It's me. I'm Captain. Come home now. So cold. Let me into your window. That's all I got.
So I was like pounding her, and so she well, it woke her up, obviously.
Yeah. That would. Yeah.
Yeah. She because if there's anyone who's seen that thing, it's her. Hubba hubba, right?
Right. Yes. That's a great thought for sexy times. Is hey, look at my calcified belly button flap. I mean, come on. Who hasn't looked at a beautiful throw pillow on the couch and thought, you know what? I'd like to have sex with that.
Yeah. Just stick that all over my chest and put that up on my lip.
I don't get any satisfaction from dragging my butt on the hardwood floor.
I'm a boner.
No.
Oh.
Runner in the night.
I'm a grinner.
Something like that.
I'm a lover, a fidget spinner. It's very expressive.
Oh, she said distressing, didn't she? Dang it.
Take a rock and throw it at my anal glands.
It's very distressing.
If y'all excuse me, I'm gonna go make love to my anal glands.
My tater.
Here comes my son.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. And I say, I hope that car runs. Wow, look at me with my skeleton stuff I do. What? Really?
Wait, there's so much content here for Jamie, by the way. You said at one point I woke up pounding her.
Yeah.
Another one where it's like I woke up jerking. So there's a lot of material here for Jamie to use.
Great. If there's one thing I'm glad about, it's that I can bring new material to Jamie. That's
Yes.
Oh my gosh, give me a coughing fit. I had to mute it. I'm at that stage of this cold flu thing where I cough uncontrollably for a while. I'm okay now, though.
Oh, God.
As Fletcher would say. Yeah, I'm better now. Thank you, Fletcher.
That's all. I was waiting for something. I was waiting for something at the bottom of that cliff, but it was just just the fall.
Oh, see, that is satisfying. That's my ASMR.
Is that ASMR?
Yeah, I'm just gonna play that on repeat. I don't know. That's starting to freak me out. I'm not gonna play it anymore. That's it for the mashup. Thank you, Jamie, for that. We'll have more of those as time goes on. A reminder to the fine folks at home that you can support this show with your dollars. By heading to patreon.com/TMS. It's a new month, a new chance to jump on board, get our signature tea, get our rad other levels. We got all kinds of cool stuff up and down the program there. So check it out at patreon.com/TMS. For everything else, frogpants.com/TMS. Let us exit the building, Brian.
Okay. All right. Please exit the building to the right. We'll go by Ashley, who wrote in and said, "Hi, Chandler and Joey. I want to request a song for my husband's birthday. He does so much for our family and gives all his heart, so I want to do something a little special for him. We love you, Morningwood," in the chat. That's his name, Morningwood.
Wow. Fantastic.
I don't think that word means what you think it means. She requested a cover of the song "If I Ever Leave This World Alive," originally done by Flogging Molly. A good cover of that came out by the Italian performer Ketty Passa. Yes, Ketty Passa.
That's a crazy
name. It is a crazy name. I had to find out she was Italian by going to her YouTube page, where all the text is in Italian and the photo is her eating a slice of pizza.
Perfect.
Two pieces of information that prove that she's Italian.
Yep.
Ketty Passa and her cover. That didn't say pasta. Ketty Passa and her cover of "If I Ever Leave This World Alive."
All right, here it is. We'll be back tomorrow. Come on back then. Now, you hear?
We can't date.
That's
your
the wrong
two
file. What happened? There it is. Sorry, everybody. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
Why don't you kiss me like that?
Why don't you indeed? Why don't you indeed?